All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? How's everybody this morning? Make sure you guys share the stream out. They went live a little bit early. I don't know why, but they did. So make sure you guys share this out. Let's try to get a bunch of people over here. What is up, Lynn? Welcome. How is the sound, everybody? I want to make sure everybody can hear pretty good. Day Drinker over on YouTube. How you doing? Let's share this out. I don't know why all these other channels have thousands of people and we have five people. I did not hear back from the court for the Jahseh Krajewski hearing that's set for this morning. So we have no access to a court feed. I don't know. They don't like me over there. They don't like, well, they used to, but now they don't. We wrote a nasty article about their judge and they don't like me. But that's all right. We'll figure it out. And the actual trial. So again, for the Jahseh Krajewski trial that goes in front of Judge Doro is set to start on the 13th. We're still waiting on word whether or not the jury selection will be live streamed or not. It may not, but sometimes in Wisconsin they do. So we're waiting on word for that. But the actual trial will 100% be live streamed, and we will cover that. So this trial that we're watching, Xxxtentacion, is slated to go for several weeks, which is fine. We will still cover this, but the Krajewski trial is going to take precedent over this. So what we will do, as long as you guys want, you guys let me know as we obviously get a little deeper into this trial. But my thoughts right now are we're going to cover the Krajewski trial 100%. That's going to take precedent. And then when trial day is done, we'll stop the stream, start a new one, and then restream what happened in the Xxxtentacion trial. So you guys let me know in a few days what you feel about that. Make sure you guys share this out, please, everywhere. Share them on your pages and all that. We've already been kicked out of one trial group because some people lied and said they had to pay money to watch our content, which is not true. Bunch of bullshit. Although I think that might have been the excuse on why we were removed. I think we're being discriminated against. What the fuck are they doing over here in this courtroom? Fucking Jesus. They need to figure it out. They went live. I'm telling you, they went live early. I waited because I'm like, all right, it's too early. It's going to screw us on viewers, but whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'll go live 5 minutes early. Not a big deal. And here we are. They like cut the feed. Oh, I should probably disable a bunch of these links on YouTube because we're not doing Kenosha bullshit today. Just let me get rid of some of this and clear up some space on YouTube because there's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff coming down the pipes on YouTube. It's too much. Clutters up the chat. How's everybody doing today? type where in the chat where you guys are tuning in from. Grandkids, what is up? What is up? Yeah, make sure you guys share this out, like the stream, type in the chat where you're tuning in from. Again, guys, let's keep the chat going because number one, that helps us. It pushes our channel out. And two, it lets me know that you guys are still engaged in everything that's going on. When everything goes quiet, right, and I try to talk to you guys and nobody responds, I think that nobody's here and everybody's washing dishes and just listening, and that's boring as shit for me. So if you guys are just going to sit back and listen to sounds, I'm going to go off and do a bunch of other things. But if we're going to engage like we typically do, then please make sure to keep the chat live. That helps us. All the engagement on Facebook and YouTube, when you guys chat and keep it all active, that helps everything. So let's make sure we're doing that today. Share this out. YouTube, hit that thumbs up on your way in. Facebook, what is going on, everybody? Facebook has been super, super shy. They don't talk lately. Crazy day yesterday, guys. After we ended with you, we ended up finding some evidence for a civil lawsuit that's happening. That was pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's taking me a year to find it, and we found it last night, late last night, about 7 p.m. we found it. They did, here, I'll tell you guys this. They did identify the Milwaukee officer that was shot and killed. I'll tell you guys who that is. They had a big police caravan yesterday. And then they identified, obviously, the guy, Terrell Thompson, who we talked about earlier. But the cop, where's the fucking post? God damn it. Of course, now I'm trying to find it and I can't find it. Peter Jerving. Peter Jerving. I'll pull this up for you guys so you can see what happened last night while we're waiting for this court case. So this is a big police caravan for him yesterday. What's up, Ma? Liked, shared, took it out for drinks. I love it, Ma. Thanks. We definitely need to take the channel out for drinks. So this is a big procession for Milwaukee police officer Peter Gerbing, who was shot and killed in the line of duty. So this was last night. Pretty crazy. The individual responsible is also dead. Terrell Thompson. He was in court the day of the incident, was sentenced to 4 months in prison, and the judge stayed the sentence and instead gave him probation, only for hours later for him to be involved in a situation, another criminal situation that led to the death of a police officer, as well as himself. Pretty fucked up, guys, when this happens. The trial will start shortly. They went live real early. I don't know why. They're just showing a black screen. It's pretty crazy. So there are some glitches on this video. So if it gets kind of choppy and sticky, that's not our stream. That's the video from the traffic cams. But throughout the stream, we were having some issues yesterday. I noticed it because we have, on the second computer, we have the YouTube channel pulled up, and then we have the Facebook pulled up on one of my phones. And I was noticing some weird choppiness on the video quality. Some of you guys said the audio was fine, but if there's issues, you got to let me know. Sometimes it is on your guys' end. You guys come in and you're behind. Make sure your little toggle at the bottom is moved all the way to the right so you're caught up. As soon as they show an image, guys, we'll switch over. I don't know why they went live so early. Look at, you got people sending super chats on fucking Law and Crime. What the fuck? For no reason other than let's just send them a super chat. Ridiculous. Law and Crime has, I can't see it now. They have millions of followers. We don't start making money. YouTube, like content creators, don't start making money until there's 1,000 views on their videos. Otherwise, it's pennies. And then we start getting into the $2 range for 1,000 views. We have videos that have 11 views. Fucking crazy. This death of this cop really shook this city. This is really a big deal out here. Milwaukee was listed as the second worst city to live in when it comes to crime. It just made some list. Somebody sent me a TikTok or some shit that was stating that. It's really crazy, guys. Fun place to visit and do stuff, especially in the summertime. But man, I'm thinking about leaving. So this was a big processional. If you guys are just tuning in, for a Milwaukee cop that died here yesterday, late in the morning hours, like 1 o'clock in the morning. So yesterday, during the trial yesterday, it was kind of a shit show, I thought. Seemed very, very unprepared. The first hour of this trial was a bunch of arguing, a lot of cattiness between these attorneys. State's attorney just objected to everything. I'm not really digging her. She just seems to whine and cry a lot. And then one of the defense attorneys for one of the defendants used the whole Parkland shooting incident as a reason why law enforcement in this trial was, so fast at the investigation with Xxxtentacion. What was number one? Let me tell you. Let me pull up this message that got sent to me about it. It says, do not travel. Let me see what it says.
5 cities you shouldn't travel to in the United States in 2023. Number 5, Rockford, Illinois. The violent crime rate in Rockford is 217% higher than the national average according to FBI data. The FBI classifies violent crime as murder, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault. The chances of being a victim of violent crime in Rockford is 1 in 67. Number 4, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, Milwaukee was number 4.
The violent crime rate in Milwaukee
not number
is
2, my bad.
22% higher than the national average. The chances of being a victim of violent crime in Milwaukee is 1 in 60. Number 3, Birmingham, Alabama. The violent crime rate in Birmingham is 231% higher than the national average. The chances of being a victim of violent crime in Birmingham is 1 in 49. Number 2, Oakland, California. The violent crime rate in Oakland is 233% higher than the national average. The chances of being a victim of violent crime in Oakland is 1 in 80. Number 1, Monroe, Louisiana. The violent crime rate in Monroe is 319% higher than the national average. The chances of being a victim of violent crime in Monroe is 1 in 38. Follow for more.
All right, so I misspoke. Milwaukee was number 4, not number 2, but still, either way, really fucked up. So Monroe, Louisiana is number 1. So we are still waiting for the feed to pop back up on this trial. They were live. They were showing the defendants and people in court already half hour ago. All right, let's see. Let's see. I'll share this real quick.
Of using eye drops to kill her friend will remain behind bars after a Waukesha County judge denied a request to modify bond for a second time.
The defendant will likely remain in Waukesha County Jail on a $1 million bail. Gabriela Vaquero reports from the courthouse.
Defense attorneys asked Judge Jennifer Doro to reduce bail from $1 million to a signature bond or home electronic monitoring. She denied that request, stating that the defendant is a flight risk.
I thought it would need to get her out of jail as soon as possible.
Since June of last year, 38-year-old Jesse Krajewski has been awaiting trial in Waukesha County on a $1 million bond.
The state's evidence is weak, less than probable that this is a homicide.
Krajewski is facing 1 count of first-degree intentional homicide after allegedly killing a friend she had been taking care of with eye drops and then making it look like a suicide. Prosecutors say she also stole thousands of dollars from the victim.
She's been screaming at the top of her lungs that she did not commit this crime.
Judge Jennifer Doro struck the request down. She says although strength of a case could be a factor in setting bail, the reasoning presented by attorney Pablo Galaviz wouldn't make her reconsider.
All I know is you claim one thing, they are disputing that. That is a factual issue that a trial will ultimately resolve.
Galaviz also questioned the court on a prior request to move 5 pills found in the victim's body from the medical examiner's office to the crime lab. The state says those pills were destroyed in February 2020, according to the office's specimen disposal policy.
Those pills don't exist anymore. I did check with the medical examiner's
Ms.
office.
Krajewski, you may be frustrated, but
The homicide case, how are they going disappearing? How is
Ms.
this happening?
Krajewski, you got to hold it together, please.
Krajewski is set to stand trial in February. That trial is expected to take 5 weeks. Reporting in Waukesha,
So another one that likes to have outbursts in the courtroom. Crazy. Crazy. So she's supposed to have a hearing right now, actually. But it's on Zoom and we need access to a link. I still have not heard from the court, which really pisses me off. Because we sent that yesterday. We tried to get access, guys, to the Zoom so we could play it for everybody. And Daryl Brooks in the news again. We put both of his court hearings up on the channel if you have not seen those. And in one of the Milwaukee cases, he has already stated via his attorneys that if there is not a resolution to a plea deal and the trial starts, that he will be representing himself again pro se. So that is for the domestic case with Erica. More games by Fort Brooks. Still no action in this case. I don't know why they went live this early. This is crazy. Crazy shit. And in case you missed it, Aiden Fucci pled guilty. And we'll play old Brooksy Boys court date so you guys can see it while we're waiting. This is up on our channel if you guys want to watch and share it out. There's 2 different court hearings that we posted up there. So make sure you guys share the stream out. We're obviously being shadow banned. I'm sure a lot has to do with a lot of our Kenosha coverage again. Our channel has definitely gone dark. It's not even notifying people.
Brooks, case number 21CF4596 and 21CF5020. Occurrences, please.
Matthew Torbenson and Shelley Grosso appear for the state. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Daryl Brooks appears by attorney William Rakestraw, who appears as co-counsel with attorney Robert Hampton, who is not here at this time, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hi, Mr. Brooks. Good afternoon, Your Honor. All right, so we are here for a status. The last time the case was in court, it was handled by Judge Feist for us. We were in the middle of a trial, and there were some movement issues. So Judge Feist handled it for us. At that time, it was set for a final pretrial. He adjourned the jury trial that was scheduled for December 12th and set it at the request of the parties for a status on today's date. Mr. Rakestraw, what can you tell me about that status and where we stand today?
Yes, Your Honor. Having spoke with Mr. Brooks, we have reached out to Attorney Torbenson and asked for a separate offer on this matter. It's my understanding that Attorney Torbenson is going to get that to me forthwith. Your Honor, me and Mr. Brooks have also discussed the possibility that Mr. Brooks will possibly be asking to proceed pro se if this case goes to trial, but we can table that for the time being as we are still seeking a possible resolution. Your Honor, I would ask for one more. I would ask for another status date so that we can work forward, hopefully, and obtain a resolution on this matter.
Okay, State.
Attorney Rakestraw and I discussed the parameters of an amended offer out in the hallway. I've emailed him an amended offer that involves just the 2 cases before Your Honor. I agree with the record made by Attorney Rakestraw in terms of how we proceed on this matter.
All right. Just so we're clear, what I'm taking you to say is that you are looking for an offer that handles the 2 cases that are scheduled before me, separate from the case that is scheduled before Judge Feist, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
So not separate offers on everything?
No.
Okay. All right. So it sounds like the parties are still negotiating. Do you wish to do another status?
Yes, please.
All right. We did have an opportunity to speak before. Okay, this should be fine. We had an opportunity to speak before we called the case on the record, when you first came over, Mr. Rakestraw, with Mr. Torbenson and Ms. Grasso, and you indicated that the case in Judge Feist was scheduled for a status on March 23rd.
That's correct.
It's my understanding that Mr. Brooks has requested to appear in person for each hearing, so you want him produced for that?
Yes, please.
All right, we can put it on for that same date. We have trials scheduled on March 22nd, but we'll figure it out to be able to make this happen.
Sure.
What time on the 23rd?
That was set for 1:30.
You want the same time or do you want 2 o'clock? Or
Probably just, I mean, we should probably just do 2 o'clock, just make it easier.
And as far as that issue, the request to proceed pro se, I think that probably it sounds as if you are negotiating actively on his behalf, and he's not requesting this at this point, but only if it goes to trial. So we will, I will withhold any argument or any further action on that decision at this time.
Understood, Your Honor.
the next court date is March 23rd at 2 o'clock for status.
Thank you.
So that's that with old Brooksy boy. So March 23rd. So we'll be posting that up when we get it. Charlene says, I don't know why he thinks defending himself is a good idea. Yeah, I don't think it has anything, honestly, to do with whether or not he thinks he can do better. I do think a lot of it has to do with all this pretrial stuff. He uses these attorneys to get all the stuff done, and then he wants to handle the trial stuff himself. Whether he thinks he can do better himself at the trial or it's a game that he plays, he gets some satisfaction. I mean, we saw how he was during the Waukesha trial, confronting victims. And remember, this is about Erica Patterson. So he wants the opportunity to confront her himself. And we saw, a bit of that during the Waukesha trial. And Judge Doro finally had enough of it and cut the testimony and excused Erica. So we'll see if he ends up getting a plea deal. Still no action on this case. I don't know what's going on. This is like the most unprepared case I've ever seen in my life. It's absolutely ridiculous. Here's the other. I guess I don't know. I guess we'll play the other Brooksy boy. The first part of this, there's no video. It's just audio.
I understand. Gotta take it how it comes, though. I hear you.
The audio is really bad.
You ready?
I'm still gonna stay with the case and stuff, but that's why I'm trying to get stuff. Sports right now. Killing me. Slow torture.
I want to get on it. Thank you. This is Stephen Wisconsin versus Gerald Brooks, case 20-CF-2550. Appearances?
State appears by Jacob Core. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Robert Hampton appears with Attorney William Rakestraw with Mr. Brooks. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. We are on the calendar today for a status hearing. Mr. Brooks' case was last in court on November 17th for a pretrial hearing. At one point, we did have a December 12th trial date in the matter. That was postponed to give the parties, I think the state needed some additional time at that point. So we were set for status. I did have a conversation with the lawyers in chambers before we went on the record today. My understanding of the parties' positions is that at this point, there's not a resolution in this matter, but there's also not been a decision by either party that this can't be resolved, and that Mr. Cord needed to conduct some additional follow-up and would then confirm an offer to Mr. Brooks and his counsel and then Mr. Brooks could decide whether he wished to accept that. We also did discuss that at some point, Mr. Brooks may be making a request to proceed pro se on this matter, but I think the discussion we had was that we would hold off on that and set a scheduling status date to see if the parties can reach a resolution, and then if they can't, the court would need to address that issue as to representation. Does that accurately capture what we talked about, Mr. Corr?
Yes.
Mr. Hampton?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is that acceptable to Mr. Brooks today?
Yes, sir.
All right. So my thought would be we'll go out about 30 days, and at that point, if the parties are able to reach a resolution, great. If not, we'll put this back on the trial calendar, and then we'll have a discussion as to representation.
March 23rd at 1:30.
Works for me. At 1:30?
Yes, 1:30.
1 second. That's fine for the state. And then 1 second. Okay. All right. March 23rd at 1:30. Yes, I'm already here. Oh, no, I'm here early. I'm good with that day, but 1:30 is fine. Yeah.
The next hearing is scheduled for March 23rd at 1:30 for a status conference. That hearing will be held in person in room 113 of the safety building.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Corr. Anything else we need to address today?
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Hampton?
Nothing, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Brooks. I'll tell you what I tell everybody who lives here. Stay safe and try and make good decisions.
You too, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Good to see you again. But I'm going to hop and the exact same thing. Okay. That's okay. See you a second over there. Okay.
All right. And Mr. Hampton, I think you have another one.
All right, so that's old Brooksy boy over in his other court case. Another one he's talking about going pro se in. This trial is still not live, guys. I don't know what's going on. This should have started half an hour ago. They were live. They went live very early. And there's no feed. This is the most like ridiculous trial thing I've ever seen. It's like the most unprepared. They're still trying to figure out like what to do. Oh, here we go. Finally, something. Well, they just, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. They just had, looked like the uncle was on the stand. And there was a white noise. And now that's gone again. Dude, I don't know, guys. This is stupid. So glad I woke up early for this, huh? It's dumb as fuck. Well, I don't know. What do you guys want to do? This is the stupidest shit. Movement. Okay. Jesus, finally.
How it is that you, Uber and this driver, first of all, can afford 2 security
Look at this, dude. How long has this dude been on the stand? Fucking idiots.
Sir, the question was, how can you afford it? Are you paying them or someone else paying you? So your testimony to this jury is that these gentlemen that have been standing here, dressed in black, yesterday and today, are doing it for free? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I didn't understand.
I said I have family. I have a family member. Right?
You have
I'm
other
scared of my life. So I have to have somebody to protect me. This is my first time doing something like this.
Okay. I understand that you said that you have family, and I'm sorry, I didn't really understand because of your accent. I didn't understand, but are you saying that you have family and they're family of yours?
Family to take care of whatever.
Is it your testimony to this jury that those two gentlemen are your family?
No, sir.
Okay. Is it your testimony to this jury that your family is paying for them?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is Miss Cleopatra Bernard paying for them?
Cleopatra is not my family. Like that, sir.
Okay, I'm sorry, because I understood in your prior testimony.
No, sir.
Sir,
No, sir.
I understand she's writing down everything we're saying. So for the purposes of keeping a record, just wait until I'm finished and then you can answer and I'll give you the same courtesy. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I understood in your prior testimony that you referred to her when being asked by the state attorney regarding Cleopatra Bernard that she was your family. Is it now your testimony that she's not?
Sir, Cleopatra is my nephew, mom. That's it.
I understand. Did you previously just testify that she was your family under direct examination to the state?
You recognize it. You got that's a family, right?
I'm sorry, sir. My question was, on direct, did you refer to Cleopatra Bernard as your family? Yes or no?
Cleopatra is my brother, my brother, Abraham, sir.
I understand that. Did you just refer to her as your family on direct examination? I'll move on, Judge. Is it your testimony under oath that Cleopatra Bernard is not paying for those two individuals like that?
I don't know if that's right. Cleopatra did not ask no one to security for security purposes.
You don't know.
Cleopatra don't ask nobody to secure me to come.
Okay. I believe that you testified that Cleopatra had not, and that's now morphed into I don't know. So please, for clarity, which is it? Do you know or no?
I said Cleopatra did not get a security from me because I don't in contact with Cleopatra.
Okay, so tell me and tell this jury who paid for those two security personnel to be back there.
So I said I have family members. Other family members, I'm scared of my life. So other family member come together and get someone to accompany me.
I understand that you have family and you're saying in a general term that your family came together. But who paid these two individuals?
I said family members.
I'm gonna object to this kind of question. It's asked and answered multiple times now.
Okay, so I'll move on. Okay, so you testified that you don't have any law enforcement training, correct? Correct?
No, sir.
Okay, you've never shot a gun?
No, sir.
Okay, could you explain to this jury why it is that you have more security coming in here to testify in court than X had the day that he was gonna take $250,000 out of the bank? Could you explain
Objection,
that?
argumentative.
Sustained.
Now, have you ever discussed this case with your brother, Secretary?
Yes, sir.
Have you discussed this case?
When prior to when, sir.
At any time?
What do you mean by discuss the case?
Have you ever talked about this case with your brother?
Continue to what happened? Yeah.
Have you ever talked about this case with your Bernard?
Yeah.
Now, I see that you came here with your attorney, Michael Enton. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is Cleopatra Bernard paying for your attorney?
I pay for my attorney, sir.
You pay for your own attorney? Is that what you're saying?
So I have family member. I tell you that already. I I have family member who have to still stand up for me, right? I have a father, I have a brother, I have multiple brothers. I have cousin, I have other family members. I have a wife here.
So my question, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna repeat it again, I'm not trying to be duplicitous. My question was directly, is Cleopatra Bernard paying for your insurance attorney, Michael Anthony?
No, sir.
Okay. Who is paying for your attorney, Michael Anthony?
Sir, I have family member that come together and help me to do my thing with what I earned as well.
So the same general answer as to who paid for your security is the same general anonymous answer that who paid for your attorney?
I have family
Objection,
members
Judge,
of the
argumentative.
Sustained, move along. So. Have you ever watched any media regarding this case? Anything in the media, anything in the news?
So I don't really want to see it, so I don't never.
So your explanation yesterday was that you are inside, you're in the passenger side, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. At some point, you press the button, right? The door opens upward, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You turn around and you run towards the store, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When you run toward the store, do you run inside the store?
No.
You're just outside the store?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then at that moment is when someone tells you, don't call the police. I'm calling the police, correct?
I take out my phone to call the cops.
Okay.
Run up there, take out my phone. When I take out my phone, someone stand, I don't know who is the person. I would say, don't call the cops. I'm on the phone with the cops right now.
Okay. And this is outside the place, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then when is it that you hear the noises that you described?
What now?
When you still have your phone in your hand, you call Cleopatra Bernard, correct?
Yes, sir.
At that moment, had you already heard the noise, the explosion that you referenced?
After I called Cleopatra.
Was it before or after you made that call?
Up here by checking the dial the number, that's the time I hear the explosion of the gunshot.
Okay. So you're dialing the number and you heard the shot?
So, yes, sir.
Okay. And then is that when you turn around to look at the vehicle? Are you giving your back to the vehicle this entire time?
So I was on the phone, I was looking towards the car.
You were on the phone and looking towards the car?
I was looking towards the car. Where I'm going. I was standing on the phone, looking down.
Okay. And then you heard the shots, correct?
Yes, sir.
At that moment, are you now dialing or in communication with Cleopatra Bernard?
I can't recall what I was doing at the time.
Okay. And at that moment, when you heard the shots, that you were looking at your phone is the first time now that you're looking at the car after running away from it, correct?
Repeat what you said.
The moment that now you hear the shots, you're looking at your phone, now you look up at the BMW, correct? And now that's basically the first time that you've looked at the vehicle after running away from it. Is that correct?
You asked me a couple of questions just now. Repeat what you said.
Okay, I understand. I'll walk you through it. I'll walk you through it.
In the video, you have to break it down.
I got it. I will. You open up the door. You go down to run away, right? And you run away towards the building, correct?
Yes, sir.
When you get to the building, you don't look back. You take your phone out of your pocket, correct?
Actually, if I look back, are you telling me that I don't look back?
Did you look back before taking your phone out?
I said I run up and I was looking at down there at the car. I'm matter of fact, when I run up the car, my phone was like this.
Okay.
I run up. I was so frightened. I was trying to call the cops. I see someone out there. Don't call the cops. I'm on the phone with them right now. Obviously, they realize that something going on down there. So that's why that person told me, don't call the cops. I'm on the phone with them right now.
Okay. At that moment, you're facing the BMW?
I was like this. So, like the car is there, I was like this. I was still trying to see what's going on down there
Okay.
while I'm,
And when you heard the explosions, were you focused on your phone?
I can't recall what I was doing at the time.
Okay. And it was after the explosions that you saw someone going in the vehicle?
So when I was up there, the taller guy leave from my side and go around to X side. The shorter one went through my door.
And that you viewed that after you heard the explosion?
I hear the explosion while the taller guy went around to X side. That's the time I hear the explosion. When the taller guy go to X side, the shorter one back inside the car, because I was actually looking what's going on down there while I'm up there.
Okay, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but now you're saying that you were looking at the BMW when you heard the explosions, as opposed to looking at your phone when you heard the explosions. So which is?
So I was looking at the vehicle when I see the taller guy run to the car, down in the car, the shorter one go through the door that I come out through.
And while that was happening is when you heard the explosions, correct?
Judge, I'm gonna ask and answer several times.
You can answer, sir. When you're looking at the BMW and you're looking at what you've just described, them going into the car, you're looking at it and you hear the explosion.
I should have went there at the car, that's the time I heard the explosion.
I'm sorry?
When they were in the car, I hear the explosion.
And you were looking at the car when you heard the explosion, correct?
I was looking down there at the car.
Now, when Cleopatra Bernard called you and told you to go to the bank, did she make any mention of the fact that her son was gonna pick up $250,000?
No, sir, I didn't know about nothing, sir.
Did you know he was gonna pick up cash at all?
I didn't know what I was gonna do. Cleopatra called me. I didn't know what he was gonna do.
So after the shots are fired, right, after you see the shots are fired and everything, do you walk back to the vehicle or do you make that call to Cleopatra Bernard?
I go to the car, I went back down there, everybody was heading there, and when the cops come, I go down there.
So are you the first person on the scene to walk up to the BMW?
I can't remember if I was the first person. I know I go down there when the cops arrive.
You were one of the first persons, correct?
I say I can't recall if I was the first person.
Okay.
I went there when the cops come in, and that's the time I go down there.
At that moment, was Mr. Onfroy deceased?
What do you mean when you say deceased? Break it down
Okay,
smaller.
when you walked up to him, did you render first aid to him?
I did not touch. So I
You didn't touch him?
I just go by the car and look.
Okay.
While the cops are there, and then, so
You walked up to the car and looked while the cops were there?
the cops was there at the time.
Okay, so the first time that you walk up to the BMW, the police is already there.
So I said, when the car, I go to the BMW when the cops reach me, and that's the time I go down to the car.
Okay, so since you were standing at the building with your phone in your hand, when you heard the explosions, looking at the vehicle, I'm trying to determine, and I'm trying to help the jury determine, how much time did it take for you to walk up to the vehicle to see the condition of Mr. Onfroy? Would it have been minutes?
When the cops come there, I can't recall the time that I go down there when the cops come there, so.
Okay. So you would agree with me that a significant time passed from the time that you heard the shots, standing there with your phone, to the time that you walked up to the vehicle, correct?
I don't know the time, I can't recall, I go there when the cops was there.
And sir, the gentlemen that are in the back, the security personnel, do you know their names?
Objection as to relevance, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Once the police arrived, that you walk up to the vehicle, right?
Yes, sir.
Was there an individual there that was not police filming? Did you see that individual?
I don't know, I can't remember.
Okay. Do you recall the individual that you testified in direct examination that was a white guy that had asked Mr. Onfroy for a picture. You remember that individual?
It's a white guy was outside, a little white person outside.
Did you ever see him filming the BMW?
No, I don't know if he was filming. I didn't saw that.
From the time that you were looking at the vehicle that you heard the shots to the time that the police showed up, did you ever take your eyes off of the BMW?
I can't remember that. If I did.
At what point did you finally were able to contact Cleopatra Bernard? Was it after the police arrived?
I called Cleo before the police arrived on time.
You called her before the police arrived?
Yeah.
Okay, so it would have been between the time that you heard the shots, looking at the car, right? The Dodge drives away, and before you walk over to the vehicle to see the condition of Mr. Onfroy, you called Cleopatra Bernard, is that
I
correct?
said I called Cleo before the cops arrived.
I understand that. And it was only until the cops arrived that you walked up to the BMW. So I'm just trying to determine, sir, give me a moment, that you sat there, made the phone call before walking up to the vehicle to see the condition of Mr. Onfroy. Is that correct?
I called Cleo before I go to the vehicle.
No further questions.
Cross-examination on behalf of Mr. Onfroy.
Good morning, Mr. Carr.
Good morning.
You indicated that you came to the U.S. in 2015, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And that was 3 years before this incident?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you decide to come to the U.S.?
Because I'm married to my wife.
Okay, and she was a citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
You indicated on direct that you were Mr. Onfroy's step-uncle, is that correct?
I'm the uncle of his younger brother.
Okay. And you indicated that you're close with Ms. Bernard.
Yeah, as my nephew, mom.
Okay, and you would do favors for her when she asked?
If I was on.
Favors, you would do favors for her?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not trying to trick you. You would cook for her?
She ordered something for her. I cook at the shop, and she will come and pick it up, as well as if she's doing something, she asks me to drop it off, and I drop it and I move back again. That's it.
Okay, and when you say you move back again, you wouldn't stay and spend time with her?
No, I go back to work or I go back to my house.
So when Ms. Bernard would ask you to cook or run errands or do something for Mr. Onfroy, you would do it and then go back to work?
I do errands for Mr. Onfroy more than if they ask me to cook, if they order some food from the shop, I cook it and take it there. If they are doing something and they can come and pick it up.
So you would agree with me that you're closer to Ms. Bernard than you were to Mr. Onfroy?
If that's what you see as, because she's the one who ordered the food. I don't even have a number for Mr. Onfroy.
Okay, so you would agree that you had the number for Ms. Bernard?
If I'm what?
You had the phone number for Ms. Bernard?
Yeah, she would call me.
Okay, and you just said that you did not have the phone number for Mr. Onfroy?
I don't have a phone number for Onfroy.
Okay, did you ever hang out with Mr. Onfroy?
No, ma'am.
Okay, did you ever hang out with Ms. Bernard?
As if she come by with his son or something like that, that's it.
Okay, so again, you would agree that you're closer with Ms. Bernard?
Because she would bring the son around.
Is that a yes?
I would drop off the son to him or something.
Okay, so would you agree that you were closer to Ms. Bernard than you were to Mr. Onfroy?
Well, you can say that then.
Yes? Yes or no?
Yeah, you can say that.
Okay, thank you. I wanna move to the date of the incident, June 18, 2018, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You indicated that Ms. Bernard called you and asked you to accompany Mr. Onfroy, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And when she called you, you did not know where you were going.
No, ma'am.
And in fact, you didn't know where you were going until you got to the Bank of America.
Actually, when I got there, I realized where I'm going by getting there. Because even when I go to the bank, I don't know where I was going.
Okay, I just want to clarify what you said so I make sure I understand you, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
When you got to the bank, you still didn't know that you were going to Riva?
No, ma'am.
Okay. But when you got to the bank, you knew that you were at Bank of Canada.
I knew I was with what?
When you arrived at the bank, you knew that you were at the bank, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you know why you were at the bank?
Actually, when Cleo take me to the bank, he told me, when he put it, he said, Jahseh is here. This is where I'm gonna meet him.
Okay. And you indicated that you stayed outside of the bank, is that correct?
I think I was outside the bank.
Okay, so you're not sure if you went inside.
I was outside the bank at one point.
Okay, at one point. So did you ever go inside?
I can't remember if I did go inside. I know I was outside standing.
Okay, and the bank was in Coconut Creek, correct?
Yes, let's go back over there.
I'm asking you.
I don't want, I come here like 3 years. I don't know the place like that time when I come here because I just go from work to home.
Okay, so you're not
I
sure.
already, yesterday I explained that to.
Okay. Do you know where Mr. Onfroy was residing at the time? What city?
That's the thing, I didn't even know the city like that. I told you yesterday, I don't know the city like that. I just come here 3 years. I just go from work to home.
Did Mr. Onfroy live in the same city that you lived in?
Said, I did not know the place like that. I didn't know where he lived like that. I don't know the city like that you're telling me about.
Okay, so I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
I said I didn't know the place like that at the time.
Okay. So you're not sure if Mr. Onfroy lived in Parkland like you did?
That's Parkland over there.
I'm asking you.
I said I don't know how far.
Okay.
All right. Back home in Jamaica, let I tell you, back home in Jamaica, you had a place called Linston here. The whole of ground back to where they say Davies, Linston. So that's why I came to tell you that. Here I realized that you walk around there, but you go over the next street is a different city. So I can't, I'm just trying to get to know the place even now.
Okay, let me ask you this way. How far was Mr. Onfroy's house from the bank? In minutes.
I didn't go into his house.
Okay, how far was it from your house?
I can't even tell you how far it was. Just.
Can you guesstimate? Was it 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
My house is there now. Maybe like about 5 minutes away from where I live.
Okay. And just to be clear, at the time you lived in Parkland, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the bank was about 5 minutes away from Parkland.
Maybe about maybe more than 5 minutes away. Where I see right now.
Okay. You indicated that when Mr. Onfroy came out of the bank, he was the one driving his car, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were in the passenger seat.
Yes, ma'am.
And you indicated that on the ride from the bank to Riva, which I know you did not know you were going to Riva, but on the way, you indicated that you and Mr. Onfroy had no conversation.
No, ma'am.
No, you know I'm wrong, or no, you didn't?
I did not have a conversation with him.
Okay. How far, and I know you don't know cities, so I'm gonna ask you in time, how far from the bank was Riva in time?
Even now I can't tell you. Because there's so many roads, if I'm going there, I can't even tell you how far.
Okay, was it more than 5 minutes?
Yeah, if you don't want that drive will be more than 5 minutes.
More than 10 minutes?
I can't recall the time.
Okay, can you say if it was under 30 minutes?
I can't tell, trust me.
Okay.
I could not.
Would you agree that while you're in the car with Mr. Onfroy, that Mr. Onfroy received phone calls?
Yes, you received a phone call.
Okay. Could you hear who Mr. Onfroy was talking to?
I don't know who he was talking to.
Was he on a phone call or was he on a FaceTime?
It seems like it was a FaceTime call.
And did Mr. Onfroy call this person or did this person call Mr. Onfroy?
The person called.
Okay. Do you recall the conversation?
I mean, yeah, I heard a a couple of things that you were saying.
Okay, what do you recall?
Judge, I'm gonna object this hearsay.
Judge, I believe it's, present sense impression, it goes to the thought process of the decedent.
Judge, I maintain my objection, I believe that that's a proper.
Objection
exception.
sustained, it's hearsay.
Mr. Kerr, could you tell if the person on the phone was male or female?
Sound like it's a man.
Okay.
It's a man.
Could you recognize the voice?
No,
Did he receive more than one phone call?
that's the only phone call I can remember you called while he was on his way.
And how long would you say they were on the phone?
They were on the phone for a time.
Not a long time?
No,
Okay. So you get to Riva, correct?
yes, ma'am.
And this is the first time you know that you're going to Riva when you get there?
Repeat what you said just now.
When you arrive at Riva, is that when you realize that that's where you were going?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And when you get there, you go inside with Mr. Onfroy, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're inside the store for some time, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you leave the store, you stated on direct that there was a white male and a white female sitting on the ground.
I can't remember the female, but I know the guy was a white guy.
Okay. Had you seen this white guy before?
First I saw him there.
And when he asked Mr. Onfroy for a picture, how did that go? What was the interaction like?
Well, at the time, Mr. Onfroy was walking. So, X, get out of it. And he was like, no, bro, I'm cool. And he moved on. And when I look around, the guy was like,
Okay. And I asked you about that because you emphasized that on direct. So did that interaction between Mr. Onfroy and the white guy, did that make you feel some type of way?
Objection as to relevance for his feelings, his personal feelings.
Yes.
repeat what you said just now.
Did the interaction between this white male and Mr. Onfroy make you feel some type of way about the interaction?
No,
Okay, did it raise alarm to you?
no.
Did you think that he was a fan?
Probably, I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe you just recognize who the person is and you want a picture. I don't know.
all right. So after that, that's when you get into the car with Mr. Onfroy. So this,
Yes, ma'am.
And at that point, when you're going to leave, that's when you indicate you reach the exit of Riva and the black SUV cuts you off.
Repeat what you said just now. I don't repeat what you said just now.
Okay. When you're going to leave Riva, a black SUV cuts you off at the exit.
Honestly, I can't tell you the color. I don't remember the color of the car.
Okay.
The car cut me off, yeah. We stopped to look before we go out. And then we just stopped and then the two men jumped off.
So forget the color, but you would agree at that point, that's when the SUV comes up. And you indicated on direct, you could not tell who was driving, correct?
No,
You couldn't tell how many people were in the car?
no,
You couldn't tell if there were 2 people in the car?
no,
You couldn't tell if there were 3 people in the car?
no,
You couldn't tell if there were 4 people in the car?
no, ma'am.
You indicated that 2 individuals jumped out of the passenger side of the SUV, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
One in the front seat passenger and one in the back seat passenger.
I know they jumped out the side. Two were on that side, they jumped out from.
Okay, but you would agree one from the front and one from the back?
You could say that.
I don't want to say that, I'm asking you.
They jumped from the two were on the side.
Okay. And you indicated on direct that you could not see their faces, correct?
No,
Okay. You couldn't even tell if they were white, black, Asian?
they were black.
Yesterday you indicated that you couldn't tell that, now you can tell that they were black?
They were black.
How do you know that?
see them jump when they jump out of the car.
Okay, what did you see on them that made you aware that they were black?
I mean, when they jump out, based upon how they come out, I see the complexion line.
I'm asking you specifically, what part of their body did you see that made you aware that they were black?
I mean, the one that they hold the gun, I can see here.
You're pointing, and for the record, I just need to clarify what you're pointing at.
The hand section.
Hands?
Yeah.
Okay. You said the one with the gun. Which, describe that further for me.
The tall one that come from behind the gun.
Okay. You could see his hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you see anything else on his body?
I can't recognize. I could see anything else at the time.
Okay. Anything distinguishing about the hands?
Until it's just the color that I see.
Okay. And the other individual, how could you tell that that person was black?
I was just focusing on how we come by X, and I just like, you know.
Okay, so again, what part of that person's body could you see that made you aware that he was black?
When he come to the car and he was like, give me the effing chain. I see his shoulders on while I'm still glancing both sides. And
Okay, so again, you saw his hands.
yeah,
Okay, and you said specifically you saw his hands when he grabbed at the chain.
he tried to give me the effing chain. Where's the chain?
You indicated on direct that you could not tell if they were wearing masks.
I don't remember. I don't sure if they were having a mask or they was in pullover. I don't quite remember because after so long, there's a lot of things I still forget. I don't remember.
When you say a pullover, I just want to be clear. Are you talking about a sweatshirt with a hood?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. I don't really remember exactly how they dressed that. You understand? At the time, because just man, so long, there's a lot of things I still have to just start thinking about what I remember. Still.
Would you agree that if they were wearing a hoodie with a
I said I
hood?
can't remember if they were in a hoodie or a mask.
Okay, let me just finish my question and then you can answer, okay? Would you agree if they were wearing a hoodie with a hood that their face would still be exposed?
I don't know, man.
So you're not sure if they were wearing a hoodie or if they were wearing a mask?
Yes, ma'am, I'm not sure.
You indicated that there was a struggle for the chain that Mr. Onfroy was wearing, correct?
I don't know if Onfroy did even have on a chain. I just heard him say, where's the effing chain? Give me the effing chain. I don't know.
So you didn't see Mr. Onfroy wearing a chain?
I didn't saw a chain on Mr. Onfroy. I just hear he ask for the chain. Give me the effing chain. Where's the chain?
Are you aware of the chain that Mr. Onfroy would usually wear around his neck?
I don't know. I never see Mr. Onfroy with a chain. I don't hang out with Mr. Onfroy.
You indicated just now on cross that once you exited the vehicle, you ran up towards Riva, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you got up to Riva, you immediately called Miss Cleo.
I said I have the phone in my hand. I tried to call the cops. Then someone up there said, don't call the cops. I'm on the phone with them right now.
Okay, so you called Miss Bernard, correct?
I called Cleopatra.
Bernard, just so the jury's not confused. Cleopatra Bernard,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
Okay. And you indicated that you did not go back down to the BMW until the police arrived.
I go back when the police arrive.
Okay. So at no point in time did you go down and check on Mr. Onfroy?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
When the police arrive, I go down there.
And once the police arrived, did you personally check on Mr. Onfroy?
I don't remember if I did go check on him.
How long would you say it took for the cops to arrive?
The cops arrived very, very quick. I can't remember. I don't know the time that the cops arrived. I can't tell. I can't indicate the time, but I know they were very quick.
Would you say it was more than 5 minutes?
I gentleman. I'm not putting no time on it.
And as soon as the cops arrived, they indicated you as somebody that was in the car with Mr. Onfroy,
They
correct?
asked if someone, I'm the one, they just take me in the car. I would sit in the car for a whole day with the cops.
Correct. So the cops arrive on scene and someone points you out as the person that was in the car with Mr. Onfroy, is that correct?
Cops asked if someone were with him, and I said, I am the one.
Okay, and they asked you who the driver of the vehicle was, and you told them that his name was X, correct?
I don't remember if they asked me that, but if so, I would tell them, yes, X was the one driving the car.
And in fact, he asked you what's his real name, and you said you didn't know.
I don't remember what I tell them on that time.
And you immediately tell Detective Foster that he needs to go speak with the white guy that was up near Riva. Is that correct?
He asked me a couple of questions and I indicate who was what, just like how you asked me now. They asked me a couple of questions and I explained them just like how I explained to you right now.
Okay, so would you agree with me that you told the detective to go speak with the white guy that tried to get a picture with X?
Well, I could maybe, if it's so, as I tell you, from 2018 until now, I wouldn't remember exactly what I tell them like that. You understand? But if it's so, that's how it goes. If they ask me, I will tell them that.
And you just said it yourself, once the detective is done asking you questions, he places you in the back of the police car, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and in fact, you sat in the back of the police car, you said almost all day,
For the whole day,
okay?
that's what it was.
Did they ever ask you to see your phone that day?
Yeah, and they take my phone.
They took it on June 18th?
I have to take it down to them.
Okay, so you just said you had to take it down to them. Was that a few days after the incident?
The next day I have to take it.
So on scene, did they take possession of your phone?
They take my phone the same day. They hold my phone for the day. They did have my phone.
Okay, but they let, go ahead.
Go ahead, ask the question.
I didn't understand what you said, I'm sorry.
They take my phone.
Okay, but did they give you your phone back that same day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then they called you back to bring your phone back to them, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
They never asked you to do a photo lineup, is that correct?
What do you mean a photo line?
They never showed you photographs of individuals to see if you could identify them,
No.
okay? They never asked you to do a voice lineup.
What do you mean by voice line?
They never had individuals speak to you to see if you could recognize the voice, is that correct?
What voice?
The voice that you heard that day.
No, ma'am.
In fact, once you gave them your phone a few days after the incident, they no longer followed up with you, is that correct?
I mean, if something going on that they need me, I have to show. That's it. I went in front of a couple of jury before.
My question is, did the detectives call you to come back to the station after you gave them your phone?
Yeah,
When was that?
I can't remember.
And what was that for?
The same thing that I tell you about with the jury that I meet up with.
Okay, so are you speaking about the grand jury?
Judge, I'm gonna object as it's not relevant and there's.
Move along.
Judge, I'm not getting into the grand jury.
Move along.
Mr. Kerr, did you ever have to go back to the station to help the detectives try to solve this case?
No, ma'am, not what I can recall. I don't remember that.
Okay, so after the day of the incident, they never asked you specific questions to help solve this case?
They take my phone.
Other than that?
I can't remember that.
One moment, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Yes, sir.
Still no. Good morning, Mr. Carl. Mr. Carl, I only have a few questions for you. You've been very clear in terms of how you could tell these were dark-skinned individuals. You you believe were black men, correct? You believe they were black men?
Yes, sir.
And we've isolated it that the way you were sure of that was you saw the hands of both individuals, correct?
Yes, sir.
You didn't see gloves, you saw skin, and that's what allowed you to tell us that you believe these were black.
I don't know if they were having gloves. I told you I see black skin.
You said you saw the hands.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would imply you saw without a glove, you saw a hand, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's all I wanted to clarify. The chain that X was wearing that day, is very, very large, covered with diamonds, large gold. You'd never seen that chain before?
Sir, I said I don't know if X were wearing a chain. I just heard they have given me the effing chain. I don't know if X were wearing a chain at the time.
Right, I wasn't asking you that. I was asking you if you'd ever seen him wear this very large, very expensive chain in the past, because you've been around him a few times.
I don't do X like that, so I don't know if X even have a chain.
But these men are saying, give me the chain, give me the chain. One of two things is true. They either see the chain, or they knew somehow he'd be wearing the chain that day, correct?
Objection, Judge Speculative.
Sustained.
Let's talk about, again, just briefly, this incident that happened right there in front of you. You said the taller of the men was the one that fired the shots, correct?
I did not tell you that's the tall one fired shot.
No.
I told you the taller guy go to the X side and the shot that one go to shoot my door. He leave from his door to my door and go inside the car.
Did both of these men have guns?
Yes,
You believe they did?
I don't believe I see.
Okay, so you know they had guns.
I see the gun.
You saw the guns, got it, okay. But you can't tell us which one fired the guns.
I couldn't tell I was up there. I just hear the shot while I'm up in the yard with the bike. By the bike shot.
Understood. But you're sure it was the shorter of the two men that, as you showed us yesterday, reached in and was grabbing at the neck of X before he was shot?
Repeat what you said, sir.
Right, yesterday, I believe you told this jury, and I think you got up and showed that the shorter guy was reaching into the car, grabbing along the neck, trying to pull this chain off the man's neck. Is that right?
Sir, I repeat what I said again.
Okay.
When the tall guy was like this,
Yeah.
don't come out the effing car.
Right.
The short one was by X door. Where's the heffing chain? Give me the heffing chain.
Well, what you're doing today, this, is not really what you did yesterday. What you did yesterday was as if he was going at his neck, trying to get the chain, the way someone would have to if they're gonna pull the chain off someone's neck, correct?
I said it was like give me the heffing chain, sir.
All right, well, again, with your hand up, did you see where his hand touched his neck or not?
So he was digging inside. Give me the heffing chain.
Digging inside at his neck to pull the chain off, sir, correct? That's what you said yesterday. I'm not trying to twist your words.
So
You're wrong yesterday, let the jury know. That's what you appeared to tell
he
us
was
yesterday.
like give me the effing chain. Where's the chain? Where's the chain? Give me the effing chain.
What you just did with your back. And again, for the record, I need to make it clear, because, this is taken down by a court reporter. It looked like yesterday that he was digging at the man's neck to get the chain, correct?
Well, if it's not what you say,
Well, no, I'm trying to get you to tell us what you agreed with yesterday.
he was digging in the car. And X give me the effing chain.
Right, so he must have seen a chain or know there's been.
I don't know.
Objection, Judge Speculative.
Sustained.
The man, the shorter man, reached in, grabbing at the chain with an ungloved hand. Didn't he?
Repeat what you said. Just.
The shorter man reached into the car to X's neck to try to pull that chain off his neck, saying, give me the chain, give me the chain. Right?
You said, give me the effing chain.
I
Where's
know,
the chain?
I didn't put that in, I'm sorry. I know what you say, sir. I want you to either agree or disagree with me. And I'm not
Don't
trying to
object, that's
trick you.
improper, the way that the question is asked.
Overruled. Refine it a little bit though.
Yeah, isn't it true that when the man reached in and grabbed at the chain and said, give me the effing chain, he's trying to pull the chain off his neck.
I don't know if there's a chain, so I can't say he was trying to pull the chain. He was just saying, give me the effing chain.
Gotcha. But where was his hand? What was he doing with his hand?
He was jerking in the car. Give me the effing chain. Give me the effing chain.
Right, jerking at the chain to pull it off his neck.
Objection asked and answered.
Judge, I'll withdraw at this point. Thank you, sir.
Judge Seibert?
Mr. Ramirez a couple of times, and you were about the motion that the shorter gunman was doing towards X when he was in the car. We were just asked about that. You recall? Yes? Remember just now the questions from the last attorney, Mr. Ramirez, was asking you about the motion that was being done by the shorter gunman. Do you recall that conversation just now?
Yeah.
Okay. And you continued to do a motion with, I believe it was your right hand. Almost like you referred to it as like a jerking or jerking motion. Did the gunman have the gun in his hand? Is that what you're motioning?
He had the gun in his hand.
Okay. So all of the questions regarding if there was any grabbing at the chain, you don't firearm that shorter person had was in his hand in the victim's face, correct?
Overruled, I'm gonna give a little leeway due to apparently.
So as I stated, the firearm that you're referring to, that the shorter gunman had, was being pointed in the victim's face as he was saying, give me the fucking chain, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions.
Sir, now I'm confused. You didn't say anything yesterday about the man having a gun going like this at his neck to get the chain. What it appeared to everyone, I believe, was that he was digging for the chain with the hammer to pull the chain off.
Argumentative and also outside scope.
Thank you. You can answer, sir. Please explain that to me. I'm confused.
He was jamming at him. So,
Right, with which hand?
with the gun, even the
Gun.
chain.
So what's he doing with the other hand that doesn't have it?
So I don't know, but I told you what I see just now. He was jamming, give me the effing chain.
After the prosecutor asked her question the way she did, now you're saying it wasn't the bare hand, it was the non-hand that he's digging with?
Objection, argumentative, asked and answered.
Sustained.
The phrase digging. Digging with a gun, or digging with a hand?
Objection, asked and answered, Judge.
Overruled. You can ask.
He was digging with, give me the effing chain.
Right, with a gun?
Yes, sir.
Okay. further.
All right, thank you. You are excused. Please do not discuss your testimony with any other witness. You can go home.
Quick sidebar regarding this.
Gentlemen, this appears to be an opportune time for us to take lunch. I was mentioning to them that, see, I've now got you on the schedule where you think lunch is at 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But today will be a little more like the rest of the world. And we'll take our lunches now, a couple minutes before noon. Hour 15 work for you? Okay. So be back at 1:15 in the reception area. As for the time of break, do not form any definite opinions on this case. So you hear all the evidence, argue counsel instructions along with you until that time. Not discuss case even among yourselves. During the course of the trial, I take your recesses in which you can separate no about personal affairs. During these recesses, you should not discuss the case with anyone or permit anyone to say anything to you or in your presence. Anyone who attempts to come around jury, ask them to stop, leave them at once, report the matter to my deputies, seek counsel, witnesses, defendants, anyone else associated with the case in the hallway. They will ignore you. They are not being rude. They are following the court's orders. Have your lunch. 1:15. Anything else? The parties present, jurors are absent. Anything else to be brought to my attention before we break for lunch? Have your lunch. Be back about 5 minutes before.
Oh, there you go.
in about just a few minutes. His attorney is present, so his attorney has asked to speak to him literally for like 2 minutes while he's here. I think that the officers that are deputies that are handling him, they're double checking that. They said that I'm allowed, but they're just, I know, because he's my witness. I've had prior clearance, so they're just double checking that. So I think that is one of the things that we're asking, just literally not even 5 minutes probably for the both of us. And then the other thing is, we are asking, because he's in custody, he's shackled, if he can be brought to the stand before the jury comes in. I've had that happen as opposed to after, because otherwise he'll have to come through that door and it can be a little bit, the mechanics of it can be a little awkward. And then I'm also asking for clarification on a couple things, which is what I'm going to double check with the court and talk to him about. With respect to gang testimony or affiliation, I know that there has been a lot of inquiry as to his gang affiliation. And I've indicated before, his gang affiliation is connected to all of the defendants' gang affiliation. And so I don't know, because it was brought up in discovery and depositions, that he is a gang member. Potentially open the door as to any one of the defendants' gang affiliation, because they were all gang members together and did things together and it was inextricably intertwined with respect to that. So I'd like a clarification, please, on the court's ruling for that, because that is going to be a big issue if that's something that the defense intends to bring out on cross.
Okay, number of different things there. So, for Mr. Boatwright.
As to the issue of Mr. Allen coming into the courtroom, we object. He's in jail. It's relevant that he's in jail. He has an extraordinary amount at stake in his testimony. We think the jury should be able to see that for what it's worth, and he should not be given any special privileges or treatment either by the state or by this court with regards to how he is handled as a witness. As far as the gang
state that this place is the phrase inextricably intertwined in the context that it has no relevance at all. His gang membership may or may not become relevant based on his testimony. I would object to anything about that transferring over to these two gentlemen, since there's no allegation that any gang membership had anything to do with this particular case, although it may have something to do with his credibility. And I'll argue that it might very well come out on that basis, but not for the other purpose. In addition, I object to him giving special treatment by meeting with his attorney prior to getting on the stand. We're in the middle of the trial. The attorney had every opportunity to meet him. Apparently, he's been in our county jail for a while. Even to sit and talk to the state at this stage, when we haven't even been given notice that he was going to be the witness that was called next, I think would be unfair to the defense. We're going to proceed. Let's proceed.
If I could, before you ask Mr. Bridgefield.
Let me just
Okay.
and then we'll come back.
Sure, I also told her if she doesn't like the optics of it, well, that's common part of parcel with having a cooperating witness in jail, that's part of it. Regarding, oh, again, there's a motion in the it's been granted, I don't understand the clarification, it exists. I'm not gonna open the door, none of these people are gonna open the door, I don't really understand what the inquiry was.
Well, starting with Mr. P, he already violated the court's order. I brought it up on sidebar, so apparently it needs to be reiterated for some people. But as for the optics of it, I actually didn't say optics. It's regarding how it's done, because he has separate deputies that are handling him. He hasn't taken a stand yet. Any witness, including a